goals are with him this spring?
Coach Chaney has been a great coach for us. He's been able to tell us the X's and O's to his offense. There's not very much different between last year and this year. It's just a lot of different verbiage that everybody has to get accustomed to. And that's really about it. I think that he's a great addition to the staff, and I think everybody's very excited to have him.
How much, without giving away state secrets, how much different do you think this offense is going to look like?
There's a lot more answers. There's a lot more control for the quarterback. So, of course, I like that. But I think it's very effective.
How do you learn this offense? What is him teaching it, and what does that look like, that process?
There's a lot of day one, day two install, and we've just been focusing every day on that. It's been really essential that we keep going on day one, day two, so we can just get the foundation of the offense going.
Jarrett, it looked like last year you made steps in getting the ball out quicker, all your mechanics, things like that. What did you do to work on that this offseason? Do you feel like you've taken another step in those things?
I think that I tried to even get it quicker as the offseason went. I think that I've been focusing on my release, on my footwork. I think that even this offense coming in, there's a lot of answers, there's a lot of hot throws. I get to control the protection, so I'm very excited for that, and it's just me just being a master of the offense now.
How much were you able to work with the receivers during the offseason?
We got 3 days in a week, and I think that just growing with those receivers was really big for us, and we have to just continue to do so.
Feel like you built a pretty good chemistry?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you say a lot of answers, what do you mean by that? Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Hot throws, just different coverage beaters, just being able to pick a side, stay aside, those type of things.
What was your reaction when you first heard that it was going to be Coach Chaney, that he was the hire?
I was very excited. I know as a recruit that I definitely saw different things that he did and was able to help out the younger quarterbacks, and I think that just being able to have him run the show, I think he's been able to do it many different ways, and I think that he's going to find a way for us to do it, and I think it's going to be effective.
His reputation has been to adapt to his personnel. Have you seen that early on?
Not so much. We're doing things that we're just trying to implement the offense, and then as the spring goes, he's going to get a feel of different things, and I think that when the season comes, he's going to know what team we are and what we want to go about.
What prompted your this offense's fire tweet?
A whole bunch. I just like that I get a lot more control.
Jarrett, this is your fourth offensive coordinator in 4 seasons that you've been here. How do you kind of deal with the upheaval every year of learning new playbooks and schemes and stuff like that?
Same thing. I just got to take it slow, just get to know Coach Chaney, get to know Coach Winkie as the quarterback coach now, and really along the way I've been around a lot of different football, a lot of different terminology, so it's easier to pick things up now that I'm going into my 4th year.
Is there an advantage to that at all with having so many different coordinators and perhaps you being exposed to more offensive situations?
I think that my football knowledge has grown just because I have had a lot of different coordinators. I think it's only going to help me in the long run, as Coach Winkie has said, so I think that it was only meant for the good.
How much more can this offense take a step further with Jawan back fully healthy and Dom Anderson in his 2nd year and those type of players?
Yeah, I think this offense, first off, Dom, I think that this offense is tight end implemented, so I think that the tight end's going to get the ball a lot, so that's definitely good for our Dom. He's a good receiver, and I just think that being able to bring back all those guys on the offense is really going to help us in the long run.
Do you feel like this is finally your offense completely? That there's no, I mean, I know there's always competition, but I mean, that it's your show really for the first time? I
feel very confident, but I also know that I have guys behind me that are working very hard with JT and Brian, and I think that we push each other every day with it.
Have you seen JT progress in the last year you've been around him?
Oh, absolutely. I think he's grown. He's grown physically and mentally, and every single day he's asking me to get in the film room with him, and he's taken a lot of big steps.
What have you seen from the young guys, the new enrollees so far?
I think that they're great additions to the team. I think that they're going to be able to help us out. And whether that's Wanye or Chris with the offensive line, I think that even guys coming in the summer that are going to help the offensive line, I think the whole offensive line has been working very well. I think Eric Gray and all the rest of the guys also have been helping a lot.
What have been your impressions of Ramel?
I think Ramel's going to be a big addition to the wide receiver group. I think the wide receivers have taken him in also. I think that the wide receivers have been working very hard, so he's kind of adapted to the way that they work.
How well did you know Wanye? I mean, your sister went to high school with him. I mean, did you know him that well?
Wanye and my sister were good friends in high school, so I was able to kind of adapt to him and kind of see him around the past 2-3 years, however long. I forgot when we moved to Georgia. But I think that he's a great dude, and I think he's a great football player, so I definitely have a good relationship with him.
How much do you think that friendship played a role in getting Wanye here?
A big role. I think he trusted me in the recruiting process, and whenever I got to go home, I got to tell my sister, like, yo, you got to tell him different things, but I think that it definitely helped.
You say there's more control now. Can you think of any specific instances, any specific plays or anything where you really see you have more control now?
I just feel like I'm able to control the protections more. I'm able to know where I'm hot. I just see things a lot better with this.
With Trey Smith on the practice field with you guys right now, do you feel more of a leadership responsibility to help lead this team?
I think going into my third spring, I think that I'm going to have to be a bigger leader. I think I'm going to have to lead the way a little bit more. Trey's doing a great job of being on the field and helping the guys around him as well. So I think that, of course, another year of growth, I'm going to need to be a better leader. And then I have guys like Juwan and Marquez out there that are also guys that have been in leadership roles.
Jarrett, how big of a deal was it for this team that Coach Fitzgerald was here for a second consecutive year? I mean, we were asking you about having 4 different, offensive coordinators. You've had a different strength coach every year up until this year. How big of a deal was that for this team to have the consistency from one year to the next?
I think that having the same coach, a lot of the same coaches around definitely helped a lot. I think that going into the offseason, we're able to know what to expect, what we're going into. So having Coach Pruitt and the whole defensive staff really back much so helped the defense out. And I think that having Coach Winky, Coach Johnson back, Coach Friend definitely helped the offense out a lot, even Coach Niedermeyer. So with Coach Fitzgerald coming back, it's definitely a big impact.